Hi folks, Jason here. Some of you may recall a video that I produced earlier this week entitled The Holy Hammer. And in it I was creating some sketches and basically going through the development process of how to design an asset by using sort of Photoshop, and then basically creating a model in Maya, then putting it into 3D Coat, lighting it, and then putting it back into Photoshop to kind of finish it off. But there's an area that I touched on, which you can see here in the video, where I looked at uploading models into Google Sketchup, because Google Sketchup's got this quite cool function where you can put drawing effects on there, and I thought it'd be really cool to basically just do a bit more of a prolonged video on that, and maybe just look at ways that you could utilize this more effectively with your designs. Now, whether you can draw or whether you're not so confident with your drawing, this tool within SketchUp is a very effective way at basically presenting your designs and to give your 3D models a sort of more artistic slant. So let's just put this on pause a second, and I'll just go through to some stuff that I've produced already. So what I've done is I went on to TurboSquid, which some of you may be familiar with. If you're not, it's worth checking out. You can go on here and basically you can buy models, but also you can get free models as well. So I've chosen a few models off this. So for example, if I just put in, say, free models, give it a second, and it should bring up a range of different models that you can download. So anyway, so I chose a few models, then I basically downloaded them. So there, I did like an RPG, I did a battle axe breaker, and I did this wooden box. I did some other stuff, but essentially these are the three that I chose. So downloaded them, and then basically opened them up in Maya. And essentially, all I needed to do really was just kind of play around with the size. Not that that's really that important. And then, in order to get it into SketchUp, you need to go to File, have the object selected, and then go through to Export Selection. You want to make sure that it's on DAE _FBX. If you try and import it as an OBJ, it'll reject it. So it's DAE _FBX. Save the file as that. Once you've done that, you'll be ready to open it up into SketchUp. So I'm going to go over to SketchUp now, and you can see there I've loaded up the objects. Now again, I would say just get yourself familiar with SketchUp. It's relatively easy to use. You've got navigation here where you can rotate, you can move from side to side, and basically what you do next is you want to go up to Windows and go into Styles. In this little box that opens up, you want to go into basically from default styles into sketchy edges, and then the one that I've chosen for these designs is just what is it called, dry erase marker. And you can see there it sort of creates it's a very kind of nice image, but it is a little bit basic. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to have a play around with some of the settings. So if you go into the edit section here, you should have some other things to choose from. And again, this is where you need to kind of have a bit of a play around. At the moment, I've just got edges selected. If I go to, say, profiles, you can see there it adds a little bit more detail. Level of detail as well, you can increase on that, like so. And what you might find is if you're zoomed out, it doesn't seem to give a lot of detail. However, if you zoom in, give it a sec, you can see there you can get a lot more detail in there. Now there are some other things to sort of choose from. So for example, extension, you could maybe just have a play around and increase the numbers on here. Say take this up to 10. Maybe even change this around, maybe increase the number of that up to 6. You'll see there, it just kind of, it takes away and adds things. I might just take the number down a little bit on that, take it down to 3 maybe. Maybe take it down to 2. And just really just have a play. Once you've got the drawing style that you want, and there are a myriad of different things that you can choose from, just to show you as an example, just as a refresher, you've got a whole myriad of different types of drawing styles, like these kind of like almost like a sort of dry pen, you know, like a sort of dry brush, dry pen kind of effect. You've even got this chalk on a green board. You can even do that, which is pretty cool. And yeah, multiple things that you can do there. Conte sort of a pencil. Again, it's quite kind of cool. And there's quite a few different styles you can play around with. And then if you just zoom along, we've got the box here. And again, you just, you know, choose your angle. So you could, you know, choose an angle like that, choose one from the side. And you could also, you know, get like a sort of close-up, something like that. And then you're ready to basically, once you've kind of got the angles, you're ready to start doing a screen grab. Now you can go one of two ways. You could go to export as a 2D graphic. That's perfectly fine. I think what I did was I basically went through to the snippet tool and basically just did a grab. So chose one angle from that. So if I say go new, you know, just chose like an area like that, and then basically you put it into the clipboard, save it, and then you can paste it into your Photoshop document. So once you've got all the collection of images together, then you're then ready to go into Photoshop. So what I've done is I've created a document here where I've kind of put like some old paper on there just to make it a bit more interesting than just having it on white. If I just move myself up now, what I did here was I've got my axe as just as one example. So click on that. You can see there what I've done is I've basically pasted them down on there. Now if I just go to, if I just click on the axe there, go to normal, you see there I've just sort of pasted them on there. And obviously the background's not coming through, so basically I'm going to click on here and go through to multiply. I mean, by all means, have a look at some of these other techniques. That's quite nice. Color burn, you could try that. But yeah, you know, with things like dark color, you could sort of experiment with that. But yeah, just have a look at some of it. It's quite you know, it's quite interesting. You know, just explore. See, that's quite interesting there as well. But I went for the multiply because I just wanted it to have this appearance of just being drawn. And what I did was put those on there, and then I put a little kind of shade on there. So it's just using like a rough brush going over the top, just to kind of give it a little bit of, I don't know what the word is, but you know, just to kind of give it a bit of depth. And they've got some other ones here as well. So I've got the RPG. So this is quite nice. I did some different shots of that. In fact, let's just go in a little bit and then a bit more kind of you know, like the end and stuff like that. And then basically I went from that and then put a bit of shading on that as well. Again, just to give it a bit of depth. So that looked pretty cool. And then there was the box, and again I just kind of got some different views of that. And then just dropped some shading on there as well. And again, it just kind of gives it that nice kind of sketchy, designed kind of vibe. And it saves you really having to, you know, do things like renders. You could even work into this and put some color in here. You know, you could put like a texture underneath, like wooden texture, or something like that. And you can get these designs done relatively quickly and not have to put too much time in. And you could sort of vary the different designs that you're doing. So, you know, instead of committing to modeling this up and then maybe put it into something like Substance Painter or 3D Coat, or, you know, even starting to, you know, use some other programs, you can just very, very quickly do some designs, model them up, and put them into Google Sketchup, and you can present them and just have something that's kind of, you know, quick. And it may even sort of save you a little bit of time, you see, because if you're not spending all your time modeling or trying out different textures, you can look at to see what works, and then work from there, as opposed to just kind of making it up as you go along. So that was it. That's pretty much it, really, folks. I just wanted to kind of do a fairly short video just to go over that process. If you've got any questions, of course, by all means, get in touch with me. I'll make these materials available for you as well, so you can have a look and you can have a play around them yourself. I'll leave it in the link below. Yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to give me a like, subscribe, and of course comment. If you need any advice, I'll be sure to get back to you. If not on the day, then at some point I'll get back to you if you've got any questions. But apart from that, that's it really, folks. Thanks for watching the video, and yeah, look forward to seeing you in the next one. Okay, thanks a lot. Bye for now.